On behalf of our family, we'd like to welcome you to Larry Tom's celebration of life. As we prepared for this evening, we paused several times to acknowledge that he would not be comfortable with all the fuss. He might even be very annoyed unless the emphasis wasn't on him, but on the one who guided his path. At his core, Dad was an educator. In college, education majors are often treated to a viewing of the movie Mr. Holland's Opus, in which the lead character, Glenn Holland, composes one memorable piece of music in his opus to leave his mark on the world. My dad's opus, his one final lesson, was one that began by having a conversation with his two youngest grandchildren. The synopsis was this: if you want to increase the love you feel for others, put them second. What? How can that make sense? One of the most difficult concepts for people to grasp is the limitless love of God. A person can't fully devote themselves to others, giving them all of the love in their tank, and still not touch the possibility of limitless love. It's such a foreign concept to our simple hearts. All the love we can muster is minuscule compared to the limitless love of God. And some of us, we love really big. We do. Imagine the power of human love when filtered through the infinitely multiplying lens of God's limitless love. You see, Christ becomes the love game changer. Our everything begins with him. Not to give the enemy too much airtime, but before this year, I had never been a witness to such an obvious full-on attack as the one that was aimed at my father. Dad and I spent time talking about how the enemy works. He takes what you love, twists it, damages it until it's poisoned, and then broken, and then sits back to enjoy the show. And God sometimes allows it. He allows it not because he wants pain for us, but because he wants to bring on the glory. He takes all that is broken and poisoned and adds his brilliant light and amazing grace and turns it into victory. Over the last 2 months, an onslaught of strokes affected Dad's ability to discern written word and complete his own thoughts. To add insult to injury, Dad's sense of taste has been ravaged by chemotherapy treatments. Strangely, the only food that seemed to satisfy him at all were dollar store macaroons. It was becoming evident that the enemy was trying to keep my dad's reach limited. A few weeks ago, still under full attack, Dad showed that he was an absolute powerhouse warrior. In the midst of losing some of his favorite simple pleasures of life, he was most concerned about being able to bring more people into the family of God, especially his grandchildren. Throughout all the pain and confusion he was experiencing, Dad knew the importance of spending time with each of us. He was seeking to plant seeds of vital understanding for his opus. I was blessed to be recording during the moment. Before you hear his words, here's the backstory so as to set the scene. It was scary for all of us to watch physical changes happen to such a great foundational force as Larry Tom. There are people in your life that are constant and steadfast. They take the fish off your line when you're scared you'll be spiked by shark fins. They fill you full of nourishment and calm your deepest fears. And they are your cornerstone when the world seems to be falling apart. Lane and Danae knew the pain Tom was in, and Dad, always brilliant at reading a room, could feel it. Like all good educators and fishermen worth their salt, he knew exactly how to use a good hook to capture his audience. Trapped in a bed, with very little within his reach, he did what he does best. He improvised, and he did it using macaroons.
Where were you at?
I was at my other grandparents.
Yeah.
I was at my other grandparents' house.
Yeah. We've been eating these. Do you like those?
You like them, Wayne?
I've never had one.
Give him one. He's got to have one of those. I recommend it.
Like it?
Very good, aren't they? They're almost addictive.
What was Mom's question? Oh, what does Jesus mean to you? That was it.
Oh boy, what a question. It means everything. Nothing would mean anything to us without Jesus. Nothing would mean anything. That is it's a great question. But without him, we could all be completely lost. Oh, God. He's my everything.
I knew you guys could do it. Good job. God's ways are transformable, epic, and unfathomable. The key is faith, Dad says. Larry Tom's last great lesson is this: when life seems the most damaged, victory is on the horizon. Keep fighting with all that you have. Trust in God and allow Him to be our everything. Equipped with God's limitless love, we become instrumental in the Great Commission, expanding the everlasting family of God.